Welcome to the Forge, where ideas are shaped and legacy is built, where we talk about ownership, financial awareness, and planning for the future. I'm your host, Horace Dotson Bay. Let's get into it. What's up, family? Peace and love. Let's get into it, man. Man, episode 3. We already in episode 3, y'all. Let me hit the button for that. Already, right? Already in episode 3. Yeah, so in this episode, I wanted to build what TrustForge is and what TrustForge is not, right? TrustForge is a platform that I designed, right? That I came up with, and I wanted to build as a token um to kind of start my blueprint, my legacy on what I want to say I did, my part that I played. Even if just for myself, um, in essence for my children. So I wanted to build that to give people a clear path on what a trust is and what a family trust is, and why you need a trust, why it's important to have one, and how that uh, uh, gives you that clear path to pass your assets down to your heirs, to your beneficiary, right? To whoever you want to, continue to blow your torch, hold your torch, if that's something that you care about. Um, and I built the platform uh for that reason. I built the platform for that reason. Um, so people can get a clear understanding. So it's easy for people to go and create their trust and have their affairs in order. That's the reason for the platform, because I wanted people to understand. I wanted people to know. I wanted people, to know me. You know what I'm saying? Despite how I came up, despite some of the things that I've been to, the things I had to experience to make me the guy who I am today. Um, so I wanted that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wanted that to be kind of understood. And with that being said, that's what TrustForge is. It's a straightforward platform to teach people how to go in, educate themselves about what a trust is, how to set their trust up, give them the tools and the equipment that they need to do that. And I'll be dropping an overview on that on the site, right? I'll be dropping an overview on that on the site on how to use the platform, how to use the platform, uh, how to create their trusts, how to generate their documents that they would take down to their local municipality or county, to transfer ownership out their name and into their trust name, right? That they 100% control, right? So if anything was to happen to you, the courts don't get involved, no probate, no none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a direct line of succession through your trust documents and how you got things described, right? And so, yeah. And again, this video is purely for educational purposes only, right? With that disclaimer, right? So, but what I also wanted to educate people on what this is not. Like, there's a path out here where people is doing that to say, um, become a sovereign citizen, claim their sovereign status and all of this. I don't teach that. I don't know what that stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they're teaching, they're teaching. I'm not throwing no rocks over there against them, but I don't teach that. I don't know what that is. All right. So I want that to be understood. Um, I want that to be absolutely 100% understood. Right. So, not saying that I don't know what I don't know what nationality is, and I don't know what citizenship is, or things of that nature. I fully understand what that stuff is, but I don't teach that. You know what I'm saying? I fully understand what it is. I don't teach it. And so there's some of the things that'll be also in my school that I'm dropping. Um, I'll be dropping that on the channel as well, my school uh account. You know what I'm saying? Where you could go in there again and continue to educate yourself on not only on trust and setting up your family trust and ownership and assets and all of that different stuff. But also, I may have something in there that, for guys, young boys, things like that there that teach you how to um kind of become a handyman, right? Because those are other things that I'm successful in. Throughout my bid in prison, I was blessed enough and had the mindset enough to go and educate myself and get my HVAC certifications. Well, that was a little over 10 years ago, since I left prison. And now I'm a contractor. I own, I have a business where I repair household appliances, commercial appliances, ACs, install ACs. I know how to do that stuff, right? I learned that, right? In addition with other things, right? So, again, that's what TrustForge is about. That's what TrustForge is. I got an affiliate platform and everything that go along with it. So if you're interested, you're gonna see the link. You're gonna see all of that stuff popping up on the screen, and it's gonna be down in the description. All right. But in this episode today, I want to kind of touch on what I want to touch on is a video that I seen. I recently seen it online with Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll was talking, and he was talking about something. Well, we're gonna watch the video, and then I'm gonna build on it. Probably throughout or after. I ain't even decided. I'm gonna decide to take a few seconds on how I'm gonna do it.
Now, our juvenile is in the parking lot of the Nissan Stadium. And it's been over 20 years since a Titan has walked in there. And there's not one time a Titan has walked in there on an official organization visit. Let's break that curse. And when I say they're in a parking lot, I was in this juvenile where I watched the Music City Miracle. I mean, they're in the parking lot. I don't mean across the street. You don't walk over a street to get to the juvenile. I said that to the team that day. I said, let's let this be the legacy y'all leave to you know what I mean, go talk to go connect with this juvenile. When I was walking out, I mean, I could hear the thunder steps behind me. I turned around, it's Big Jeff Simmons. Hey, what's up? I want to go. It's Jeff Simmons, man. That's our franchise player. That's all it took. 2 weeks later, and I got Rand in there. I got Jeff Simmons. Literally, Will Levis, J.C. Latham. I had our whole, I think, 20-some players show.
That video right there touched me for a few reasons, right? It I understand it, and it dredged up some things from my childhood. It dredged up some things from my childhood. So the first thing that came to my mind was that's crazy. That literally in the same parking lot, there's a juvenile center right there. And like, especially with all the stuff that go on, you know what I'm saying, in Tennessee and Memphis specifically, right? That and this ain't talking down to Memphis. This ain't talking down to. But I'm just saying, let's not even use the Titans. I'm not even gonna use the Titans. I'm just saying, let's just say the Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna speak on where I'm from, right? Miami Dolphins. I think if that was something that I would have seen when I was young, that probably would have changed my life. That probably would have changed the trajectory that I was on and that I went down. Because of a lot of things. The first thing that came to my mind was that I remember one time I was walking. I think I was walking home with my partners with a few of my buddies that I can't even remember exactly who it was, but we was walking through the parking lot. I think we was coming from a little spot in Miami. It used to be called the flea market. We was coming from the flea market, so we was coming from the flea market, and we was walking through Liberty Market. That's kind of like another little market, down there, right off 79th, right, Miami, Florida. And I seen some dudes up there. And one of the dudes looked familiar, and and I knew him from I knew him from like uh, uh through my brother, through one of my older brothers. I I think him and my one of my oldest brothers went to school together, and I think he might have came through the neighborhood a few times, and I might have seen my brother holler at him or something. But I know some type of way my brother knew him. And that's how me and him was all right, because he was a little older than me. He wasn't that much older than me, but he was a little older than me. I seen him, dude named Way. His name was Way, right? And you from down there, you you know, you came up at that time. You know who Way is. You know the whole. If you know the whole story. You know what I'm saying about what them boys went through, what the boys did. With the little carjacking. Well, I think a German tourist lady got killed. Right? She wound up. Well, let me not. Well, a German lady, a German tourist, wound up losing, her life. And so I seen Way them that day, right? I ain't knew the other two brothers he was with. I ain't know them. You know what I'm saying? I learned who they was later, but I ain't know them, right? I ain't know that, never heard of them. I ain't know them, right? But I knew Way. And so I seen Way, and I was like, boy, what's up, Way? What y'all boy doing? And he was like, we ain't doing nothing. But then I seen them boy had a splat. I'm like, they finna, them boy finna get into something, right? They had a splat, right? If you know what a splack is, you know what a splack is. Well, I'm gonna tell you what a splack is. Splack is a car, right? A splack is a stolen car, right? That's what we call splacks. And so Way, they get in the car and they leave, right? So we keep on doing whatever we was doing. We was going, I think, we was going through Liberty Market, because that's where they was at when I seen them. We stopped right there and we chatted a little bit, and they got in the car and left, and we kept on going whatever we was doing. Like I say, I was younger than them. We was younger than them, so we was moving around. We would move right on our feet. We were jits. We would move around, on feet, bikes, or something. We was moving around like that. And man, later that next day, that junk was all over the news, bro. Yeah, they had that boy. Wait, I think they went and got that boy way from. Now they ain't get him from school. They ain't gonna get him from school. But he was all over the news, and he was over the paper with that sheet over his head, right? And how he would walk. The walk. Way had scoliosis, I think. So he walked with kind of like a hutch. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I always remember. Way was a funny dude, right? He was always the type of dude that made you laugh. And I'm talking about, could have been a real good at comedian. You talking about a dude who could have been a comedian. Like, how you got people that could have, they got natural talents, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? One of them dudes that just could make a room full of motherfuckers just laugh. You see what I'm saying? A room full of people just laugh, right? That was Way, right? So, boom, that happened. Some time went on later. I get locked up. I get in juvenile. That was one of the things, man. I was in and out of juvenile. I was a juvenile jit. I grew up in the system, so I became a man, from a boy to a man in the system. And so Way, so I wind up running into Way. Way was still a jit. He was still a juvenile too. You know what I'm saying? He was the youngest one in that car when that happened. So Way, that's kind of like how Way, that's a whole other story. But yeah, so I used to be seeing Way was in that way. Same thing, bro. And making people laugh, that thing, playing, joking, gambling. That's all he did as a jit. And I'm on the floor. It was a lot of us on that floor, man. It was me, Way, Chucky, dude named Chucky from Overtown. Chucky, cause Chucky them had got locked up. Boy, we were just out there by every man. Listen, man. Chucky them was a whole other story. Them boy, Chucky and Horace them from over town, them boy was a whole nother, they was a whole nother story, man. Them boy you to go hit, them boy you to go hit them guns, them boy you to go hit them gun stoves. I'm sorry, y'all, my daughter right there, she distracted me. Them boy you to be hitting them gun stoves and Chucky, they were wild, but man, that Chucky them was in there, man. It was a lot of them in there. They was on the same case, bro. All of them, they was on the same case, bro, for hitting them stove, getting them guns. And so I'm on the floor with Chucky, Moondog. If you from town, you know these names. Chucky, Moondog, Horace. I don't know if Horace from over there, but Horace used to be with them. Who else, man? It was a lot of them on that case, man. I think Chucky brother was on that case. It was a lot of them on that. It was a lot of them on that case. Mostly Jits. All of them do with Jit. All of them on that case were young, right? So them boys was in there. And then my partner, them, man, it was a lot of my partner them was in there, man. I was in there. Jeff was in there. Who else was in there, man? Man, who else from the Scots was in there? It was a lot of us in there. A lot of them jokers off of K2, off of Killer 2, they was in there. So right? But the point that I was making, the point that I wanted to make was that, you know what I'm saying? You know, these was a lot of the things I went through because, like I say, when I was young, bro, my dad used to take us fishing, so we was into something.